How is it going, everybody? We're
Yo,
doing
yo,
it.
yo.
We got Chief here. We got Justin here. We are rolling, dude. How is everybody? How is everyone's weekend? I know
Not too bad, man. Would have been better if the Celtics won Saturday, but I can't complain.
Hey, there you go, dude. Mine was pretty busy. Just laborious work for me. My voice is a little bit shot. I was a little bit sickly today. Justin, how have you been? Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Right on, right. Man.
Doing all right. The weekend was good. I just did a lot of shit around the house.
Cool. Hell yeah. That's always good to get that out of the way, man. It's sometimes you got to hit that spring cleaning a little late. I know that we wanted to reorganize the living space this weekend, but because of where the internet router is, we can't do that. So it's just been a whole boofed time. Goodness.
They postponed the craft fair until July, so I ended up not having to rush all weekend like I thought I was going to have to.
Oh my goodness, that's good and weird. It's weird that they postponed it. Oh my goodness. What up, Elson?
Bad weather.
Welcome back. We got Elson in the chat. What up? Well, guys, we have another manhunt. Ooh, I'm already... Damn. Sorry, work stuff just popped up on my phone like, hey, there's an available shift, but I'm already covering somebody for that shift. No one wants to work it. It sounds like it'll be violent, but, you know, I like working security.
What show?
It's a luchador event. Like, not even a joke. Full on, you know, I'm 2 hours from Mexico, so I'm working security for a lucha libre, like full on Mexican wrestling event. I also comprehend Spanish well, so for some reason the dude above me likes sticking me on the Latin shows, and I like Latin shows, so it's on like Donkey Kong. Don't be acting crazy, dude. I'll have you bounced out. Probably just use my words, make you feel dumb. You know what I mean? But lordy. All right, well, we're gonna hop right into it. I have a little bit of news before we get into the manhunt. We have a new, like, manhunt, I think, to follow. It might pop off. We'll see. We'll see how the audience reacts. But we have here, it's a 39-minute clip from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial today. And it looks like Johnny Depp's lawyer slams witness for claiming Jason Momoa's career, just like Amber Heard. Okay, so apparently this witness is claiming careers. I don't know. Let's check it out.
Jason Momoa. That's one of your comparables, right?
Yes.
Welcome,
He's
everybody.
been
Say what's up in the chat.
prominent since 1999. It was in Baywatch in 99.
Hop in the Discord. Say hello.
44 episodes on Baywatch. Do you know that?
You can look it up if you did. I'll go with that.
Right. But you remember him on Baywatch.
Actually, I didn't watch Baywatch, but
All right.
he certainly had the physique for it, so.
Stargate, Atlantis, he was on that. Many episodes.
Right?
Did you know that?
Right?
Yes.
Okay. He played Conan the Barbarian.
In TV or film?
Film.
Okay. I don't have Mr. Momoa's resume memorized, so.
No, I'm just trying to understand how you came to the conclusion they're comparable, because I'm just want to spend a few minutes talking about Mr. Momoa's career. Game of Thrones was one of the most popular things on TV.
Before it fell off at the end, but very popular. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jason Momoa actually has some deep cut cred with fans going back to Stargate, and I'm glad he brought that up. So, you know, He did kind of build his own career.
for a period of 3 years, correct?
Yes, he was.
And he was in Game of Thrones.
Yes, he was.
Yep. And he's Aquaman, right?
Yes, he is.
Right. He's the title character in Aquaman.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was actually Aquaman in a movie before the Aquaman movie started.
You mean
know
in
that?
Justice League and other things like that, yeah.
Batman versus Superman. Dawn of Justice. Wasn't he in
There
that
you
as
have to come on in
Aquaman?
and lose
I
your
didn't see
shit.
that one.
Didn't see it.
I can pause anytime.
Miss
We
Heard
can
wasn't in
lose
that
our
movie,
shit.
was she?
Not that I know of, no.
No. And he was in both Justice League movies.
Correct?
Yeah. And he's in Aquaman 2.
Yes.
They used him in the second Lego movie.
I don't know why it redacted your message.
Right?
Yes.
He's one of the most heroic characters
Oh,
in the
Last Witness
recent
was.
Dune blockbuster.
Which happened post Aquaman.
Right. In fact, likely his character...
He's not the lead, though.
No.
In Dune, no, he's not the lead.
Did you ever read Dune?
Pardon?
Did you ever read Dune?
I know, but I've seen the movie.
No. Do you understand whether his character will come back from the dead in the third movie?
As again, I didn't read the book, so he might. I don't know.
That might
We're just talking.
Hey, spicy Dune spoilers. The Gola of Duncan, Idaho turns out to be the Kwisatz Haderach.
About that one movie.
That
So
might be
that's
a bit of a spoiler.
Oh man, dude.
He's one of the principal leads in the new Fast and Furious franchise movie Fast.
Is he really? Are we getting Jason Momoa in a Too Fast, Too Diesel?
Acts, right?
I don't know that for sure. No.
Okay.
I hope so.
But that's not the career path that Ms. Heard has had. She's never been the title character in a movie.
Oh yeah, it's the 10th episode. So at the 10-minute mark, I'm gonna start burning some serious herb. Here's the thing: it's recreationally legal where I am. It's legal. It's legal where I'm at. If it's not legal where you're at, don't do it. Anyway, so you see me puffing. That's what's going on.
She hasn't spent years on television. She did, what, 8 TV shows? 8 single episodes of TV?
Again, I don't have her resume. If you want to show it to me, we can count them together.
All right. Mr. Momoa remains well-liked, even though he's engaged in a recent divorce from another actor. That's correct, right?
I don't know. I don't follow his fan base.
You don't follow Jason Momoa, but you use him as a comparable to come up with a $45 million
I said I don't follow
deal?
his fan base. I understand him as a prominent actor in the business, but I don't follow his fan base.
Isn't fan base one of the things that you analyze?
Of course, you can look at numbers, but I don't keep a watch on his social media feeds.
All right. All right. You indicated
Yeah,
that
this
Gal Gadot
this lady is
in
infuriating
Wonder
already,
Woman.
guys.
Yes, she's a star.
She's in fact Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no, she's good too.
Yep. All right. She's the title character, and there's been now multiple Wonder Woman movies, right?
Yes?
Yeah. And even before that, she was in franchise films.
Which one are you referring to?
Fast and Furious.
Excuse me, I honestly don't remember her being that as one of the main characters. I know it's The Rock and that
You
whole
didn't
career.
even know she was in the Fast and Furious franchise.
I've seen it on her resume, but I didn't. Again,
I didn't know.
I'm not a fan of the Fast and Furious.
All right. You'll agree with me that Wonder Woman
She tries to seem relatable with that, but look, a lot of people like that film series. I got no hate if you like the Fast and the Furious films. They can be a good time. If you turn off your brain, they're a good time. You know what I mean? It can be a good time.
is a more prominent role than Mira.
If you're going to talk about apples to apples in that exact movie, yes.
All right.
Apples. What about apples?
What about Does Mira have any, self-titled franchise films?
Not yet.
No. And Ms. Goodell played a much bigger role in the movie they were in together, the Justice League movie.
In what movie they were in together? Oh, in Justice League?
Yeah.
I haven't counted the screen time, so I can't really say.
Okay. You indicated that another person that you compared Ms. Hurdle.
Well, Arianthe, yes, her current job is to analyze social media, but, what she means by that is she just still reads magazines and only the articles she's interested in. So,
Yeah.
Hi. Hey, what up? This lady's crazy. This lady's acting straight.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's perjury in her line of work. Like, they could probably prove, surely they've got social media on her to prove. Look, here's where you tweeted, I'd like to get folded by hashtag Vin Diesel, hashtag Fast 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No way. No way she hasn't said some ish like that or tweeted or name dropped to somebody. I bet you there's character witnesses that are like, I watched that movie with her. That probably
Well,
don't
what's
like
really
her.
funny about this lady specifically is she has a colleague that testified last week. And the whole point of this testimony right here is to prove that Johnny Depp and his lawyer Adam made statements that impacted her career, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so she had a colleague that testified last week that these hashtags that came out that supposedly were a smear campaign against her came out long before the allegations.
What?
Yeah. We just don't like you, Amber came out before Adam said anything. Amber Turd started before Adam said anything. I Stand with Johnny Depp started before they even got divorced.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, today was such a waste of time. He had it on his little pie chart, and he was so proud to show it off. And then once he realized that it wasn't going the way that he thought it was going to go, he kind of panicked and just shut down.
Damn. Hey, what up, Brian Farrell in the chat, by the way? What up? Thank you.
Comes this lady who's trying to argue the same thing that they were arguing last week, but she's just not very good at it because she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Damn. That, this all tracks. There's some, anybody brought in, this is just some of the people they've brought in are real Groupon finds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, they had a psychologist today that had to be told twice from the judge to stop interrupting and to start answering questions.
Oh.
Yeah, he was kind of awful, very argumentative. Not with Amber's team, but with Johnny's team. And then there was another guy this morning. He was a pathologist who was like, they called him a bruise expert, which I find to be really funny.
Yeah.
Just for no reason other than it's funny. And it turns out that this guy has been an expert witness many times, but for Amber's legal team, who pays him $5,000 a day.
So she just has a whole scammer ass team. I know, I saw the attorney say, what was it? I'm trying like the other day.
Yeah.
Like, what is this, your first time? Like, I hope Jameson was out there just, spewing coffee out his nose, man. I hope that managed to spit to Jameson, because that was bad defense work.
Yeah, I looked her up, and she has a really impressive career and a really impressive educational background. And so when she is trying to, go at it with Amber Heard, and she has to stop herself and go, I'm trying, in the middle of a huge case. It says a lot. And my favorite thing is there's people, especially like bailiffs and stuff, that are coming back and talking about things that they see and hear behind the scenes.
That's just,
And I guess it's a rumor, of course, objection hearsay, but one of the bailiffs said that they could hear Amber and her lawyer
Cut out on me.
arguing in the back, and she told her, well, if you don't like it, then represent yourself, and they were screaming at each other. That's hearsay. I'm just saying.
Hey, but this tracks with Amber's kind of character profile and all this.
Yeah.
You know, this seems to be that like that
Yeah.
kind of behavior fits what they've portrayed in court on both sides at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's some fair ass hearsay, you know. That's some fun ass hearsay.
Exactly.
That's some fun hearsay.
I know. I'm living for it. So Wednesday, we're supposed to get Kate Moss, and at some point this week, Johnny Depp is supposed to take the stand again. And then at some point this week, we're also supposed to get a woman named Jennifer, and she is the old boss of Whitney Heard,
Oh, snap.
who, well, I don't know if you listened to
Is it drunk?
Amber's sister's testimony.
I know that she's
Yeah.
drunk. I know that she's an alcoholic. And
Yeah.
you know, here at MURKradio, we got a few different people who are recovered alcoholics. What up? Me, John B,
Hell
Erica.
yeah.
You know, it's a list goes on, man. So I hope ladies doing
And
better.
fucking good
but,
on ya.
But that you are an unreliable. If you are still in the midst of your addiction, you know, in the grip of your addiction, you're an unreliable witness.
Yeah, so the old boss of Whitney's has stepped forward and said that she has emails and text messages between her and Whitney where Whitney came to live with her. Okay, Whitney says that she came to live with her because she was terrified of Johnny. Well, the text messages and the emails say that Whitney was terrified of Amber and that Amber has a violent streak.
That fucking sounds like the truth. Right there.
And wait until we get into the timeline that I created, because I have a video in there of Whitney who got the shit kicked out of her by Amber. It's the aftermath.
Excellent. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got a feeling we're going to you know, once this is all kind of I think we all know how it's going to go in court. So I'm really excited to do this after the fact and also kind of check in if the planets align right on some current juice. But again, today in caucasity, this lady. This lady.
Today in caucasity.
She's the worst. Now, in Eastern news, Biden popped off about Taiwan, apparently.
That's what I hear.
So I have here a quick little clip from ABC News. If you got them, smoke them. Let's check this out and see what the hell Biden said about Taiwan. I don't know. I slept. I was sick today. I don't know what happened.
Talking trash.
Team coverage right now of the president's trip to Asia, as well as the latest in Ukraine. So joining us now is ABC News political reporter Brittany Shepard from Washington, D.C., and ABC News foreign correspondent Tom Sufi-Burge. He's in Kyiv. So, Brittany, let me begin with you on Biden's comments on Taiwan. Yeah, obviously the White House is trying to clean it up because they say we aren't really changing U.S. policy. But I'm wondering, given what's happening in Ukraine and the president's response to that and what it might say about authoritarian regimes' eagerness to test the United States' resolve, might it be intentional on Biden's part? And if not, what's the point?
You're exactly right, Terry. I mean, the Biden White House rarely does something like this without intention, even if they weren't planning on getting their messaging out right now. We're seeing a new backdrop for a feud as old as time. China and the U.S. infamously unfriendly bedfellows, as you know. Right. And we're seeing Biden trying to reassert the United States and actually his own force in the Indo-Pacific region. And as an international leader, you're seeing Biden get hits on Afghanistan, getting hit by Republicans and even Democrats here at home on how he's handled Ukraine and the loss of life and hunger that we've been seeing month after month after month. And I think that there's some critical thinking here done by Biden. Say, if I come out strong against China, China. If I show that we're willing to not only get up to the line, but put boots on the ground, or as the White House staffer has been saying for the past couple of hours, just providing military help by weapons, that the United States is unafraid to look China in the eye and say, we are here. It's no longer the America First policy that President Trump pushed, that America First was America alone. Now America First means America together, at least if you're Joe Biden.
No question that Putin's invasion has changed geopolitics around the world.
Why does she keep saying
Brittany,
China
President
like
Biden said to me,
You know, everybody has their own twist on China nowadays since Trump happened. Now, here's the thing. Here's my deal. We've just escalated tensions with Russia. Is it the right move to escalate tensions with China? Is there any other diplomatic wordage or anything you could do to maybe, you know, maybe issue us a check before you start heightening tensions? You know what I mean? Like maybe bust off a stimulus before you start pissing China off, Biden. What the hell's going on here? I can only assume it's one of two things. He was sundowning, or he was genuinely diplomatically put in a corner and felt the need to say that and said that.
meet with two other members of the so-called Quad. India, Australia, that's India, Australia, Japan, and the United States, the Quad against China. So what can we expect from these talks?
So we heard a little bit about this trade and economic plan in Brit's package, and we're going to hear President Biden pushing his allies in the Quad to be hard against Vladimir Putin and come out in support of Ukraine, especially pressing India's PM Modi on his relationship with Putin.
That is catchy.
And all of the ancillary damage that this war in Ukraine has caused. It's not just human life and military life, but it's also a strain on human hunger. There's a humanitarian world hunger crisis that the White House says that they will definitely be pushing this food shortage. You know, Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world, and India is the second largest grain exporter, and India has banned all domestic exports on grain. That means all the bread they're making is not leaving India. And President Biden will be pushing Modi to see the bigger picture here. In these developing countries, and even here in the United States, you go to the grocery store, prices are high. And so imagine you're in a more developing nation. You are going to be hungry. Your children are going to be hungry. And President Biden is going to attempt to solve a humanitarian crisis that we've never seen before. That's just a little bit of preview of what we might be seeing later on today and tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brittany. Let's move now back to the war.
Where are the K-pop musicians citing and all? What I want to know. That's where I'm going. Calling them K-pop musicians. You know? That's real popular right now. You dig?
War in Ukraine. So, Tom, the president, you know, not making news during this necessarily on Ukraine, but with Chief of Staff, Chief of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Milley, and
the Chief Joint General Director, Chief Joint Captain of Staff, Admiral, Fleet Director,
Secretary of Defense Austin. They did confirm some new details on this morning's Ukraine contact group meeting, including new military aid announcements from other countries. What came out of all that?
Yeah, Terry, defense officials from 40 different countries, including the United States, on that video link call today. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin not giving details about what new U.S. weapons are coming here to Ukraine, but singling out some of its allies, saying Denmark and the Czech Republic, for example, are stepping up their support. They're going to provide anti-ship weapons for Ukraine to defend its coastline, attack helicopters. Other countries like Greece, Poland, Italy are going to step up their support in the form of artillery ammunition and artillery systems. Ongoing discussions between the Americans and the Ukrainians right now to see what new quantities and types of weapons, namely the rocket launcher systems which can hit targets at distance, when those might be provided now that that $40 billion aid package has been signed.
Jeez.
Well, Tom, let's talk about the cost in Ukrainian lives. You know, this has just been such a terrible war. President Zelensky revealing today that more than 70 people were killed in a single missile strike on a military base not far from Kyiv, an attack that happened a week ago. But then over the weekend, Zelensky said 50 to 100 Ukrainian soldiers are being killed.
Notice how this headline about China ends in them almost obsessively talking about the Ukrainian conflict. This is all somewhat connected, I suppose, geopolitics, but I know I certainly connected them before they went down that route, but boy, did they really expound. All right, but we have Arianthe. You still with me? Everybody's still with me. Oh my gosh, we got the juice today. We got the news. We got a manhunt. The manhunt for Caitlyn Armstrong. Let's learn about it.
Federal authorities now joining the urgent search for a yoga instructor who police say is a suspect in the fatal shooting of a world-class cyclist who authorities say at one point dated her boyfriend. Law enforcement say 35-year-old Caitlyn Marie Armstrong took off days before being charged with the murder of Mariah Wilson.
She knew she was going to be wanted for this. She probably had a 5-day head start.
According to court documents, this all stemmed from an
Why'd they
apparent
pan
love triangle.
those left and
Armstrong's
right?
boyfriend, Colin Strickland, telling police he was briefly in a relationship with the 25-year-old Wilson last year. Investigators say the pair, both pro cyclists, met up at 6 p.m. on May 11th. They went swimming together and had dinner before Strickland dropped Wilson off at a friend's home in Austin at approximately 8:30 p.m. That friend, police say, called 911 after she found Wilson in the bathroom bleeding from gunshot wounds.
District 6 can get TOG for 26-year-old female. Injuries incompatible with life.
According to the court documents, Armstrong's 2012 Jeep Cherokee was captured on a neighbor's surveillance camera, stopping outside of Wilson's friend's home the night that she died.
It's so incredibly painful for such a tight-knit community. My reaction is just pain and heartbreaking.
Strickland issuing a statement saying his friendship with the slain cyclist was strictly platonic, adding there's no way to adequately express the regret and torture I feel about my proximity to this horrible crime. Armstrong's family telling ABC News that while they don't know where the wanted 35-year-old is, they believe she's innocent, saying, I know a young woman lost her life and that's horrible, but Caitlyn did not do it. And Mariah Wilson's family telling ABC News that she was a talented, kind, and caring woman. They also felt it was important to clarify that those closest to her understood that she wasn't in any romantic relationship at the time of her death. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Okay. So already got a lady on the run. We have, as usual, this news ad nauseam.
This morning, U.S. Marshals leading a coast-to-coast search for a murder suspect who hasn't been seen in more than a week. 35-year-old Caitlyn Armstrong is accused of fatally shooting professional cyclist Anna Mariah Wilson. Police say on May 11th, officers found the 25-year-old's body at this Austin home with multiple gunshot wounds.
EMS shortly after arrived on scene, provided life-saving measures, but victim did succumb to her wounds.
In an affidavit obtained by our NBC affiliate KXAN, police say the victim, Wilson, had met with the suspect's current boyfriend, Colin Strickland, the night she was killed. Wilson and Strickland, both pro cyclists, who Strickland said briefly dated last fall, went swimming and to dinner before Strickland dropped Wilson off at the home where she was later found dead. Detectives say 1 minute after Wilson arrived, security footage shows an SUV similar to Caitlyn Armstrong's appearing to pull up outside. When officers confronted Armstrong with video evidence, she provided no explanation and continued to remain very still and guarded. Police later told her she was free to go. In a statement, Wilson's family says, they are devastated by the loss of our beautiful daughter and sister.
I don't think anyone would have anything bad to say about her.
As police enlist the help of the U.S. Marshals to assist with finding Wilson's suspected killer, investigators say an anonymous tipster they call credible told them Armstrong discovered Strickland, her boyfriend, was having a romantic relationship with Wilson. The tipster telling police Armstrong became furious and was shaking with anger and wanted to kill her. Wilson's family says at the time of her death, she was not in a romantic relationship with anyone.
It is all Mariah Wilson.
Known best as Mo, Wilson had been a rising talent in the gravel cycling circuit, a combination of mountain and road biking.
I really put a really hard effort in at the end.
Now, as investigators piece together what may have led to Wilson's death, the search is intensifying for the missing suspected murderer.
And police say that right now Strickland is not believed to be a suspect in this crime because he does have an alibi, and security footage does not place him near the scene at the time of this crime. They add he is fully cooperating with authorities in this very much ongoing investigation. Tom?
All right, a lot of questions there. Morgan, we thank you for that.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your...
Oh, Roker. Ah. Right. Here's the same story from KTVU. Now, why I'm going through all of the original source material is it'll be handy to reference later if this pops off. And you never know. There were things I wished I would have maybe clicked on or covered when we were doing Brian Laundrie or when I was doing Elizabeth Cook.
Federal officials are looking for a yoga teacher who's accused of killing a professional cyclist from San Francisco. 25-year-old Mariah Wilson was shot to death while she was staying at a friend's home in Austin, preparing for a race there. A tipster told police that a yoga teacher named Caitlyn Armstrong suspected her boyfriend might be having an affair with Wilson and threatened to kill her. Armstrong was interviewed by police, released, and disappeared. Wilson's fellow cyclists say they're devastated.
It's so incredibly painful for such a tight-knit community and people you've raced with, celebrated with, ridden so many miles with, to be faced with this horrific tragedy. And really, my reaction is just pain and heartbreaking.
Police say Armstrong may have been tracking Wilson through a fitness app.
Lordy, lordy.
Federal agents
Here's News Nation. They're going to expound a little bit.
are searching for a woman charged with killing a professional cyclist believed to be in a love triangle with her ex-boyfriend. News Nation reporter Tahira Rahman has more from Austin, Texas.
Police say Anna Mariah Wilson was staying at this home on Maple Avenue with a friend. She was getting ready for a bicycle race in Hico, but never made it. According to new police documents, investigators say last Wednesday evening, Wilson met up with another professional cyclist, Colin Strickland, to go to Deep Eddy Pool. Police documents say Strickland and Wilson had a romantic relationship at some point, but the day they went swimming, he was living with his girlfriend, Caitlyn Armstrong. Police say when Strickland dropped Wilson back off at the home, he lied about it to Armstrong, telling her he went to drop flowers off for someone and that his phone died. Police say an anonymous friend reported that they were with Armstrong in January when Armstrong learned Strickland was allegedly having a romantic relationship with Wilson. Police say the friend remembered Armstrong saying she was so angry she wanted to kill Wilson. According to the affidavit, investigators tested Armstrong's recovered gun and found, quote, the potential that the same firearm was involved in Wilson's murder is significant. Investigators say security camera footage from a nearby home showed an SUV matching Armstrong's vehicle parked at the house 1 minute after Wilson entered it and after Strickland had left. Police say Armstrong couldn't explain why her car was there when officers interviewed her.
That was reporter Tahira Rahman in Austin, Texas. And for more on this case and the search for the suspect, we're joined now by Tracy Walter. She's a former CIA officer and FBI special agent.
Before we get into what this FBI agent special investigations person has to say, I'm immediately a little concerned that it's a firearm crime. We have a lady obviously at the end of her rope. We know how the last manhunt we followed ended. And I really hope it doesn't end that way. I hope we get some justice for the family. I hope they actually catch Caitlyn and can indeed prove that she's, it sounds like they can already prove that she's guilty of these crimes. There's a lot of evidence stacked against her. So I'd be interested to see how Jameson would defend Caitlyn. And I'm interested to see what happens here in the future. Let me catch up with the chat here. See, bike dude Strickland lying to GF Armstrong about meeting up with ex-girl was skeezy, but nothing is excuse for murder. Can't believe it needs to be said, but apparently, yeah. Absolutely, Allie. It's so funny because I don't watch the MSM, on this stuff anymore. Usually just more consistent, credible true crime YouTubers, such different angles. Yeah, that's one thing I've started enjoying about true crime on YouTube, and really starting to fall into my lane of just aggregating the news and having a bit of a, for myself and for the crew, place to go back and see some of the original stories, and how some of these small details end up really big in the end. Really, really big in the end. Like John B said with Brian Laundrie, follow the car.
Good to see you, Tracy. If it were you investigating, how would you be approaching this case?
It's good to see you too, Rutabaga. Thank you for having me. So I think I'd be investigating in several different ways. The first thing, the thing that's the most interesting to me is actually I would want to know, I know that she's deactivated her social media accounts, but she was very active on some other kind of tertiary accounts. Armstrong was things like Strava, which is sort of an app for cyclists and runners, and really that is how she found Wilson's location as to where Wilson was. I believe she had been probably tailing them for a while. I think the other thing is that they perhaps tipped their hand a bit too early to her, and this gave her kind of a head start in terms of where she's going. My guess is she's probably headed south. Mexico, the border is about 3.5-ish hours away from Austin. So that's probably what I would be looking at right now.
Do you think it's possible that she already made it, past the border, or do you think that there's a possible way that she can really evade, authorities in the U.S. for very long? It seems like there are just cameras everywhere now. There are GPS devices. Like her picture is out there.
I 100% agree that she has probably crossed the border at this point. If not, I believe that she may have probably harmed herself. This case, to me, just in terms of the arrest around it, or the questioning and then disappearance, is very harkens to sort of the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito case in terms of how he sort of slipped away. And so I do think that she probably has made it to the border, just because there was a bit of a lag time to when the official felony arrest warrant was issued to when she could have crossed the border.
How common is this love triangle scenario?
I would say it's actually more common than not. And what's so fascinating is one of the things that I see with cases like this. And, I think, we sit back and we look at these and we're like, well, why is no one sort of bringing the male into the mix? Just because there's some things that have gone on. And I do think things like this are extremely common. Armstrong has lived with Strickland for about 3 years. And also, even more importantly, she seems to be very financially intertwined with him as well. And I think she stands to lose quite a bit besides love if this relationship had gone south.
And we know a Ring camera captured her car around the time of the murder, but do authorities have enough evidence? I mean, they've charged her with homicide. What does it take to bring charges like that?
So, yeah.
This lady broke.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I believe that's why initially when they brought her in and questioned her about the vehicle, they brought her in on an earlier warrant relating to a financial matter, completely separate from this. At that time, they did not have enough, probably to even get a search warrant for her home. However, because a firearm was recovered and because it seems like early ballistics show that it probably matches, that is most likely what gave them the felony arrest warrant.
All right, we'll see how it plays out. Tracy, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more.
No. Look, I think this is a strange connection, but I recently watched Bad Vegan. Bad Vegan on Netflix. And, woo, that is a doozy. Boy, that is some crimes right there. That guy is manipulative and wild, and poor Swarma, she seemed sweet, and at the end of the day, just, maybe had to go along with a bit of the bullshit because she had so much invested in it already. And having been through a divorce myself, it's just, you see what the financial strain of things can do on the decision to leave somebody. But what I'm most fascinated about by all of this is what they'll have caught this lady eating when they catch her. She's obviously kind of a health nut. I wonder if they're gonna follow some unusual Uber Eats Chipotle orders and find this lady. You know, this is a yeah, I'm gonna throw a dart here and say vegan. I'm gonna say she's vegan. Just slender, athletic, you know. I'm interested to see how what they're gonna do to find Miss Armstrong. And again, I hope they find her alive. I hope it's the opposite of what we had going on last time. Oh goodness. But you know what time it is, guys. I wanted to rush through the news. I wanted to crush all of our normal criteria in the first hour. See if maybe we timed it right with Chief. Maybe pop open the tabletop sim, maybe see what's going on. Maybe see if I can't find a quick, I don't know, a game or something. We'll game. Maybe we'll change up what we do here at the end of the hangout. But let's check on our mans. Made the mistake of not turning.
350 million or more people in Africa, and then 12 die of Ebola in one little town. They go, oh, Ebola, 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 oh, Ebola.
Tell me that's not Bill Hicks.
And they had
that is
CNN
Bill
people
Hicks.
saying
that's Bill Hicks.
Diseases will be coming out of the rainforest because Mother Earth is mad. Literally like witch doctors going, booga booga, sun not come back. You know, when we have floods and rain and meteors might hit the Earth. What if a meteor hits the Earth tomorrow and destroys a city? Are they going to say this is because the people of Earth have been bad? That meteor just came from space. It's very primitive control apparatus. It's how chiefs and medicine doctors used to control, and shaman would control the people, saying, oh, if you're not good, the crops won't come. Oh, the environment, if we're not good. I don't want to eat a piece of meat that's got dioxins in it from plastics production. I don't want them dumping, nickel cadmium and heavy metal Grignard reagents in the waters.
He's been on turning the frogs gay. He's been on it, dude. Since what, Waco?
I have a feeling he doesn't know what half of those words he just said mean.
He's memorized them for sure. Does he know what they are? Probably not. Boy, he was a mile a minute. He's still a mile a minute. This guy hasn't slowed down. How long can a human heart go this fast?
He's on the Malik Jones vitamin.
He's on that vitality shield.
Population control, which is just nothing more but dictators' excuses to kill men, women, and children, and girls in slave labor camps in China making Nikes. You call that good? And all these Hollywood people that say they love you are the ones that speak out against slave labor, are the ones you find out later are the ones that own all the sweatshops making their clotheslines. They're all hypocrites. They're all hypocrites using you. So here it is, global plan to fight infectious diseases sought. I haven't read this yet, but Washington, a new plan to coordinate international efforts to track and combat infectious diseases will be announcing by the leaders of the G7 group of industrial nations at this weekend's summit in Denver. White House aide said Monday. And the combustion engine is the greatest threat to civilization, like Al Gore says in Earth in the Balance. No, Mr. Gore, the combustion engine is civilization. And the combustion engine's getting cleaned up because we're putting catalytic converters on the cars, just like we got the horses out of the streets 100 years ago, and we don't have a horse manure problem anymore.
This guy's still, I feel like, balancing out of being Bill Hicks. I don't know why he's playing reruns. Oh, here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I need
there you've got that, and of course, it's all now what has happened.
What you got?
But let's now go to Geneva, Switzerland, just 8 hours.
The fudge are you talking about? How would he possibly know I'm talking about him?
Surface say, well,
I'm back.
It won't be ratified by Congress.
I'm
really,
persistent.
Biden's signing on to it. They don't care. The bureaucrats that run the U.S. created the UN. And when they titularly sign on to these treaties, they follow them. Just like Congress didn't pass Agenda 21 in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro under George Herbert Walker Bush. But we're under it. And if you look at the plans of that, everything they called for in 92 and signed on to was complete by the year 2020. And then now they want to complete the next phase by 2030. And boy, do you want to learn about Agenda 2030, because it's the future for you and your family. They have charted and they have planned. But I'm really glad that folks out there on the internet, Mike Hansen and others, have been able to find archives of shows I did 25 years ago, like the one you just saw. That's 25 years ago. And things I'd totally forgotten about are now here. And it's just devastating how incredibly accurate we were. But we weren't accurate. The enemy battle plan was in our hands. So here's Klaus Schwab.
We had inside
announcing.
information. We knew what was going to happen. We knew about it. Let's see if I can find this. Ooh. Let's try to find a tier list maker. Let's talk about our favorite fast food, guys. Let's do it. Up. Got an idea. Ooh. Still got the meditation radio pulled up. And not necessarily feeling it. A little too relaxing. Welcome to the sleepy hour. There we go. Let's go like right there. This vibe. I have pulled open here a tier list maker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming how should we do this? I guess the top is gonna be the worst because it looks like it's shaded red. But you know, we'll put every day. Sometimes. I just realized I did this backwards as all hell. I'll change it. Change it. All right. I've made our tier, damn it, our tier list. Damn it. See if it'll let me do this a little larger. for you. Now. It's not. Nothing. Ooh, okay. Maybe. Sorted. With my big ass head. Thank you for bearing with me. I don't know why I want to do this, but it's been an idea I've had for a while, so I thought I'd do this on the 10th episode. But feel free to chime in at the bottom here. Self right here. Oh, let's hang out proper, guys. How is everybody? You still with me, Chief? You eating some dinner? Justin, you with me? What we got here?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know how good my connection is, but I'm here.
Right on. All right. I might need help with the tier list because it's going to be the MURKradio fast food tier list. Everybody be excited. Get pumped. Get hyped. We're going to suggest where to eat. So, I want to start with a pretty divisive one. How's everybody feeling about Arby's? You love it, you hate it. Arby's.
It's kind of my go-to when there's nothing better around.
Okay, so that's a if I gotta firm. Okay. See, it's kind of a sometimes for me. But I do...
Every now and then, there's certain things on the menu that I want every now and then.
Yeah. It's weird how many people I've met that don't like Arby's. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people I know that just don't like Arby's.
Because all they ever got was the beef and cheddar.
Yes, exactly.
They ate too many of them and they regretted it later.
Yes. Okay, whoa, what the hell? Okay, here we go. There we go. But I've seen a bunch of people do these fancy tier list videos, man. Okay, so I'm gonna put, and I wanted to do one of these. Damn it. And if I gotta, for Arby's, if that's what's around. Okay, I got a firm opinion that Burger King is a meh.
Yeah.
Like, I almost never choose it. It's got to be like by overwhelming, like everybody else chose that, you know? And I don't want to be a dick and be the
Like,
only
I won't
person.
be exactly. I won't be like real upset about it, but I typically wouldn't choose it.
Yeah. Like, they used to have a chicken sandwich I liked, and then I had a girlfriend that liked their gross chicken sandwich, so, you know, if they absolutely gots to, then you gots to. Little Caesars, I ate Little Caesars the other night, dude. So, you know, I'm thinking, I don't know, sometimes Little Caesars is one of those, like, below slumming it. Like, slumming it I feel like is Pizza Hut for me. And then, like, if I'm below that, like, I want to put garbage into my body, it's Little Caesars, and I do feel like that sometimes. But, like, I don't know.
So where does Eureka sit?
Eureka is right there within Little Caesars almost, like, same-ish. What up, Erica?
Yeah.
What up, Erica? Don't give me opinions on fast food, lady. Okay. Charles. Carl's Jr. / Hardee's. I consider them the same damn thing. Some people say they're different. I mean, other than the occasional different menu item, it's the same-ish. Look, I love their breakfast, but not a lot of people realize how hard-hitting that breakfast is. But I could probably hit up a Carl's Jr. for breakfast, like, all the time.
Yeah, that wouldn't upset me. Their breakfast is pretty spot on.
Yeah. I'm gonna still put it in sometimes, though, because that's one of those, like, I don't know. I feel like I've never frequently...
It's always in a weird part of town that's hard to get to, or just a spot where you don't go normally.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, everyone's gonna hate me here, dude. We're at Chick-fil-A. I hate Chick-fil-A. That's an everyday for a lot of people. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Oh fuck. Anybody still with me that's really hella simping for Chick-fil-A? Let me know. Cause I might bump it up, but right now it's on hell nah for me. But I that has to be wrong. Justin, are you a sometimes Chick-fil-A?
Not in years.
Years. I'm going hell no. Chipotle. I don't know if I've ever actually been to Chipotle. I've had their catered food. I
went there once. It was pretty decent.
We both might be a little too country for Chipotle. Also, where you're at, there's so many good Mexican options that are way cheaper. So
way better, way cheaper.
Yeah, I'm putting it under meh because I don't think to go there. It's never really in the equation.
They also didn't really show up in our area until just a few years ago.
Yeah. Domino's, unfortunately, is every day for me because I did at one point eat Domino's for most of a week and was fine with it. I know there's a Domino's down the road that apparently has that $7.99 like come grab it deal. You know, that's a good deal. I'm gonna go motherfucking every day with. Not a sponsor. Dude, Dairy Queen. Ooh. That still is sometimes, but like on the weekends. Now, Five Guys, I don't know how I feel about all that. Like, I don't know.
Is that the one where everything's cooked in peanut oil?
That's
where
why
it's just poison to half of the world?
That's why it's a hell nah for me. I haven't eaten it since I found out about my peanut allergy. So, you know, not happening. In-N-Out is overrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's kind of a man for me. I'm a man In-N-Out. Jack in the Box I have eaten multiple times in a week. Now, I realize they don't have a Jack in the Box back home, but have you had Jack in the Box?
Oh yeah, I ate it all the time when I lived in California.
Damn, dope. That's why I'm going every day. Ooh.
To be fair, it was like one of 3 places walking distance, so...
Yeah. I'm putting KFC on if I gotta, because KFC hits hard if the location is good and is the worst thing and will poison you literally if it's a bad location. You know what I mean?
Bullhearted.
Yeah. Yeah, Terry, this is bad food for the most part. Hella bad for you. But that's what I love about it. McDaniels, dude. McDongles. Where does it go?
If I gotta?
Yeah, that's it. If I gotta. Like breakfast, lunch, dinner. If I gotta. It's there for you. I'll be honest, Panda Express sometimes. I do choose it, some mall Chinese food over other shit. Dude, I never do Papa John's, and I'm not that impressed by their pizza.
Nothing special about it, that's for sure.
Cool. I'm putting it under hell nah. Firmsies for me. Pizza Hut. Dude, that's kind of an early day with Domino's. I've done Pizza Hut like multiple times in a week and been down. But it's kind of a staple. Popeyes is a firm sometimes. Yo, Sonic. We're from the South, so Sonic hits the best, honestly. I'm rushing that immediately.
Even the bad Sonic locations are pretty good, so at least around here.
Yes, exactly. Even the bad ones. Dude, what's your opinion on Subway?
I kind of forgot it existed.
Yeah. So I'm going meh. That's a below if I gotta. Taco Bell. I think we all don't want to Taco Bell every day. But let's be real. It probably belongs under every day. But I say we put it under sometimes. Because we respect ourselves. I know I've done better. I'm putting...
I've been there, but I can't eat it no more.
Right? Like... There's just some things though, like I get tacos from Jack in the Box, I get tacos from Del Taco. The Taco Bell's different, man. The tacos of my childhood. Dude, White Castle. Don't have a White Castle where I'm from. Never really think to eat it. Not a big fan of chopped up onions on their tiny little sliders. It's kind of a hell nah for me, dude. What do you think about White Castle?
I've only ever had the stuff from the freezer section.
Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna go hell nah. Now I realize this is probably controversial. One thing I've learned about myself already is that I love pizza that will deliver. Little Caesars, you gotta pick it up or get it through Uber Eats or something. Like, no in-house delivery. And I don't want that. Bring it to me, dude. I don't want to dip it drizzled on top. And Wendy, I'm not taking that Twitter heat, dude. Wendy comes at you with the fire if you don't put her on top. So, she's a top. Well, it was fun, but somewhat underwhelming. I'm still glad we did it, though. I say we, hop back to exploring the realm of the news. What do we got going on? News roulette. Entertainment news. Oh man. The one thing you guys might not know about me, and I'm pretty sure I've said on this stream before, is that I'm a massive, massive, massive fan of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like, massive fan. Disappear window capture. Boom. Massive fan of Keeping Up with the Kardashians back in the day, and an even bigger fan of their new show, dude. Been watching it with Lux. We both have a really great time when we watch it. It looks like Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker have gotten married, and they have kind of an obnoxious relationship, honestly. Like, they are all over each other a lot on the show. Hey, Erica says they're self-made. Yeah. You don't normally start off with a comeback. Ba-bum cha. You know, come on your back. Anyway, this news story.
Checking on the latest buzz in the entertainment world.
Liz and Mike from 105.1 The Buzz joining us live right now. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning, guys.
Morning. Yeah, so the wedding bells were ringing again for Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. So this was, if you're keeping count, their third iteration of a wedding.
Yeah, and usually a reality show only gets one of them a season, but somehow they drug it out to 3. So initially, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, they got married in Las Vegas. They didn't actually file a marriage license, though, so it didn't really count. And I'm sure it's probably because there weren't cameras filming that Kris Jenner was like, hold on now. No. And so then last week, they actually went to a courthouse and got married. And it's because they held their wedding over the weekend in Italy. And so they needed to get the American marriage certificate. But somehow I know all 3 of these will be completely included in episodes.
Yeah. It feels like it's all for that, if I'm being honest.
It might be. You know, but I was also thinking about it. So Kourtney Kardashian, she has several children with Scott Disick, but they never actually got married. He was their longtime partner, but this is her first wedding, and she's the oldest Kardashian. You know, I think maybe she's been waiting a while for this. Like, if you want to go have like every version of the wedding of your dreams, I mean,
they can afford it.
You can afford it. Go for it, girl. Do you?
Oh, and
but
I'm
I
sure
feel
it
like
was sponsored too. I'm sure.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
Every aspect of it. But the whole thing is they did this theme where it was almost gothic.
Yeah.
And everybody was wearing like dark black lace. And then Kim Kardashian had like this whitish bleach blonde hair and an updo. And legit,
Yeah.
if you go and look at the pictures, if you watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch when you were growing up, she looks just like her Aunt Zelda. Just like her.
Oh my
awesome.
gosh. Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like 3 weddings, it's got to be associated with a curse, though. Like, I mean, I had 1 wedding and it was cursed, but 3, like, there's got to be
Maybe,
something
well, here,
there to
maybe
it.
you only need 1. Like, if you go 1 for 3 in baseball, those are Hall of Fame numbers. So,
Yeah.
like,
Right?
they just, all they did was improve their
They're
odds.
just adding more layers of
Yeah,
protection.
exactly.
I don't know.
It's a numbers game.
Well, I thought it was interesting because some of the first photos that came out this weekend when they were like walking into all of this, day of Italian ceremony, she had this like really short black dress on, kind of like a corset kind of vibe, with a picture of the Virgin Mary on the front and this black veil, and everyone was kind of like, is that the wedding dress? That is a dress.
Was it?
It is a choice, but
No.
no, she changed into a little more typical
Gotcha,
wedding dress.
gotcha.
But it was just it was a look.
It was
And it-
definitely a choice.
And if we're using baseball analogies, I went 0 for on my marriages, just like the Seattle Mariners did this weekend. Travis,
Just
I
a-
know I had to
the
say
not
it.
so subtle dig
I knew you
from
guys
our
would
Red
find a way
Sox
to
fan.
bring baseball.
I
up this
wasn't.
week.
I wasn't trying to go this route because it was a painful Red Sox Mariners weekend. I may owe Mike an adult beverage.
Yeah, you guys had a bet riding on this one, yeah?
Yeah, I lost it quick.
Oh.
Lost it fast.
Very fast. Thank
yeah.
you, Trevor Story.
I could give a hoot about that dude's BS. Noah Thompson has been named the newest American Idol. Check out GMA about it.
The winner of American Idol 2022 is Noah Thompson.
Welcome back to GMA. What a finale last night on American Idol. Noah Thompson took home the top prize with Hunter Girl as the runner-up. We're going to talk to them both live in just a minute, but first, let's take a look back at the season.
That's bad. He even does the spike his hair up in the front a little bit, like all the Southern moms want you to do.
From Ultimate Idol reunions
Drop the mic.
to mentors who know a thing or two about taking home the title,
Now's the time to bring it.
to memorable moments only the judges can bring.
No. What?
But like every season,
You're going to Hollywood.
in the end, it's all about the talent.
Don't show your face around here anymore.
Here.
And this year, from the nationwide auditions
And that is my favorite female country voice I've heard in 5 years.
to power
I almost paused Luke Bryant's voice thinking it's copywritten country music.
house performances from the top 20 on the Hollywood stage. The contestants brought it every week. But by finale night, it came down to 3.
Everybody wanna take her heart away. Couple billion in the whole wide world.
Leah Marlene,
Falling again, falling.
Noah Thompson,
If only you would come back to me. Come back to me.
and Hunter Girl.
That's hella copywritten. Fucking copyright strike. Yeah.
And after a live finale of star-studded
Damn. How did that
performances and special duets,
Who are the two finalists?
only one could take the title.
Noah Thompson.
20-year-old Noah Thompson from Kentucky becoming your 20th American Idol.
Talk about one day tonight.
So fun to see. Here we are. Noah Thompson and Hunter Girl are joining us now. Welcome to GMA. Look at the smiles on your faces. Congratulations.
I'm so excited.
Congratulations.
It's okay. I can't believe American Idol's still going. Yeah, 20 years. God. My God. Here's from 2 hours ago at the end of Johnny Depp's. From the
I don't know. You guys know a lot more than I do. Yeah, I don't know who's watching it, but I know someone's here.
We are old, Erica. Oh, the juice. Weird. Oh. We have
in DeKalb County in as count 20 or 22. I can't do that because we don't have venue under the Georgia Constitution. I do under RICO. So it is in RICO. Judge, he is indicted, if you will, in count 1 with Mr. Williams for having a stolen weapon, and I believe it's 4 counts of different drugs for possession with intent. And that is a pending case out of DeKalb County that they are on bond for. Okay? As to the predicates or the overts, he has 4 predicates, and those encompass that case in DeKalb. The other event Mr. Sadow spoke of, Judge, Mr. Sadow referenced that Mr. Kitchens is a rap star. I believe Mr. Williams is as well. In the songs they sing, they talk about being followed in their gang persona by snipers. They're always followed by snipers. I believe it was
Lux is home. How them nails look? You don't want to show me on stream?
Well, no, I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
It's a hand model. They gotta be right.
Made a traffic stop. 2 cars.
They gotta be right
next to each other, 1 in tow, were stopped in Brookhaven, DeKalb County, doing approximately 25 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Tonight, Atlanta rappers Young Thug and Gunna and a list of co-defendants all learned today they will remain in jail. They appeared in court following their recent arrests as part of a lengthy indictment connected to alleged game crimes. Joe Hinkie in the courtroom this morning. And Joe, while rapper Gunna was denied bond, a decision on whether Young Thug will receive bond was delayed here?
Well, that's right, Jennifer. Prosecutors are objecting to Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug's attorney representing him, saying there's a conflict of interest. Until that issue is resolved, the judge said he won't decide if Young Thug gets bond.
In fact, a danger to others and a danger to the community. Given what's been proffered thus far, I'm going to set him for no bond at this point in time.
That is how Fulton County Judge Earl Glanville described and denied bond for defendant after defendant named in this recent indictment against rappers Young Thug, Gunna, and more than 20 other defendants. Each are accused of being members or associates of the Young Slime Life or YSL gang. Several defendants are charged with murder and violent assaults. Prosecutors today argued Young Thug and Sergio Kitchens, a.k.a. Gunna, who are not charged with violent crimes, should be denied bond for being shot callers in the YSL gang.
They are dangerous. They've got their troops. They direct their troops into combat. They're not the ones that fire the bullets. They keep their hands a little bit more clean.
Gunna's attorney argued he is not a danger and offered that he receive a $750,000 bond, be placed on house arrest with electronic monitoring, have his phone calls recorded, and restrict who he can communicate with, plus forfeit 3 of his homes and his parents' homes if he violates his bond.
Those are as stringent a conditions, I believe, as any court in Fulton County has ever imposed.
The judge
Sparkles. Ooh, she killing it with the nails. Killing it. Killing it. Let me see if
the judge, though, did not sign off on the offer and denied bond. The decision left family members of the rapper in tears. Any ruling on bond for Young Thug won't come until next month, after prosecutors objected to his attorney, Brian Steele, representing him, arguing he previously represented another defendant in this case. Steele disagreed.
And it's all in public record, Your Honor. I never was paid a nickel. I don't have an open file on Mr. Arnold. I never defended him.
Young Thug's father says he will be at his son's next hearing, where he hopes bond will be granted.
You know, they're going to present, we're going to present, and, you know, we hope when we roll the dice, you know, everybody come out and win.
And the judge today set a hearing for June 2nd, where you will hear arguments first on the conflict of interest issue and then potentially bond for Young Thug. All other defendants denied bond today had their trial scheduled for January of next year.
Damn. We got our mans. We got our mans. It happened. They got you, Young Thug. Sorry, man.
In DeKalb County,
rough times.
As count 20 or 22. I can't do that because we don't have venue under the Georgia Constitution.
Here we go.
I do under RICO. So it is in RICO.
Get my
Judge,
damn.
he is indicted, if you will, in count 1 with Mr. Williams.
I have a soundboard
having
now.
A stolen weapon,
Anyway.
and I believe it's 4 counts of different drugs for possession with intent, and that is a pen.
Sorry for this kind of scatterbrained Monday hangout. 10th episode. And no plan. No plan.
Congress this week holding its first hearing on UFOs in more than 50 years, where Pentagon officials shared declassified photos and videos of these unidentified objects in the sky. But did they leave us with more questions than answers? That's always what they say in these segments. Theoretical physics professor and author of The God Equation, Dr. Michio Kaku, joining me now. Doctor, great to see you. Thanks for being here again. You know, even the Vatican, speaking of your book title, even the Vatican says it's conceivable that there could be other beings in the universe. So God could have a plan for UFOs as well. Did you see anything this week that made you go, wow, I didn't know that?
Well, before there were 143 sightings that could not be explained using the normal laws of physics. With these congressional hearings, now we have 400 sightings by U.S. Navy pilots and seasoned military personnel that cannot be explained. These objects fly between Mach 5 and Mach 20 times the speed of sound.
Wow.
These objects can drop 70,000 feet within a matter of seconds. These objects can zigzag, creating G-forces that are several hundred times the force of gravity, enough to crush the bones of any humans. These objects can fly without creating any exhaust. In other words, quote, they're not ours, unquote, as stated by one Pentagon official. Then the next question is, if they're not ours, then whose are they?
So they defy what we know about what we are capable of producing. Even if there's something that, you know, the Chinese in some secret location is coming up with, they simply don't have the physics to match what these objects are doing. Does that mean that they are defying literally the laws of physics?
Well, hypersonic drones can approach this kind of capability, and we see them in the Ukraine. The Russians are ahead of us, actually, in terms of hypersonic drones, and they've actually used them against the Ukrainians, but they are unreliable. They're not as good as they're cranked up to be. And also, these UFO sightings go back to before World War II, when, of course, the whole idea of hypersonic drones would be considered science fiction. And so we're talking about a technology that we're not familiar with, a technology that only recently has been mastered by the Russians and eventually by the United States as well. Hypersonic drones that can travel up to Mach 20.
Yeah, and what you suggested at the beginning, I mean, they can
That's
turn on
so
a dime.
fast.
I mean, even if you could get up to that speed and find some way of encapsulating a being in that craft, you couldn't turn that quickly no matter what we try to do here on Earth, right?
That's right. In fact, the United States military had a program to perfect hypersonic drones that was canceled 2 years ago because they were unstable. By zigzagging, they would spiral out of control and then crash. Well, because the Russians have announced that they have a hypersonic drone, that means that the United States military has revised its program. But just to show you that these objects, whatever they are more advanced than anything that we can feel. And of course, these sightings go back way before World War II, when the idea of hypersonic drones was considered science fiction.
Are we, very quickly, are we getting more of these sightings now, or is it just because we have better ability to track things wherever they are in our little section of the universe here?
Well, apparently the military, the pilots of the military have hundreds of these encounters, but most of the time they keep it to themselves. There's a stigma, the giggle factor, and so a lot of these sightings are simply not reported. Now the military has said, no, you have to report these sightings, no matter how bizarre they are. So watch for it. There could be floodgates. The floodgates could be open as now the stigma is beginning to be removed. That military pilots, commercial pilots are now free to reveal what they see in the sky.
We have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here. Fascinating stuff. Well, the White House not giving up on ending Title 42 after a judge blocks Biden's plan to kill it. That's next.
And they won't. Well, they are talking about the UFOs, but they're doing it during a geopolitical conflict. Nope. Not having it. Radar swarm from a year ago. Let's see here. Damn, people are uploading crazy paranormal videos today.
Famous ghost hunter on TikTok visited West Virginia on his nationwide tour of haunted places. With more than 1.6 million followers, Kalani Ghost Hunter searches for spirits live on his app. And over the weekend, he took a drive down the country roads to Lake Shawnee, which was an abandoned amusement park. If you're not familiar, it's in Mercer County. It was abandoned back in 1966. Paranormal investigator used tools to monitor ghost activity throughout the property and then managed to pick up on some activity on the swing set. Kalani says that he plans to return to Lake Shawnee as well as spend a night in the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in Weston.
They have the haunted house portion, which just looks like something out of a horror movie. And then you add in a creepy Ferris wheel and swings. It definitely has a creep factor. So I feel like even if you're not out here looking for activity.
He found like the youngest cowboy pot. It's Cowboy Chief, dude. Chief, you here? Dude, we found Cowboy you, dude. He's like, yeehaw, boys. We're wrestling. Good Lord.
It would still be a cool place to like spend the night.
Says you. The full
it's a cool
Q&A
place to hang out,
with
man. I'm
Kalani
telling
can
you.
be found again at our website.
I don't care if it's
under the
haunted.
Paranormal
I'll shoot the ghosts.
West Virginia tab.
Damn, he did too. He looked just Chief. He looked just like you, but he could be your cousin, bro. He could be your cousin, easy. Good. Let's hop back to the floor page. Anything on Our Lady? Anything on Miss Arnold? Probably not.
to the Chinese that they should not think of this as something that is changing the situation or destabilizing the Taiwan Strait.
Yeah, the White House clearly playing cleanup there. Dr. Victor Cha for us tonight here on Top Story. Dr. Cha, we thank you for your analysis. We want to come back here at home and talk about the latest on that formula crisis and potential good news for parents. More formula arriving to the U.S. from Europe as the Biden administration works on more ways to get the product into the hands of families in need. Jolene Kent has more.
When the first emergency aircraft for Operation Fly Formula landed, it delivered a sign of hope alongside growing nationwide panic.
Everything is empty. I don't know about y'all, but this is scary.
Aboard the C-17,
What's she gonna
more
do?
than 70,000 pounds of hypoallergenic formula, enough for 9,000 babies and 18,000 toddlers with cow's milk allergies. But just for 1 week, a drop in the bucket. The formula will be sent out to families over the next 2 weeks through hospitals and pharmacies. In New Jersey, Isabella Gagliardi has been facing the shortage since January, before her son Thomas was even born.
It was definitely a lot of relief where I was like, okay, something is happening here. But I think
I had a friend of mine seriously trying to find formula for her baby, and it's been a problem. It's
it was still really frustrating because we've been talking about this for a really long time.
Families are demanding more answers from the White House. Today, the vice president saying,
Our administration is working around the clock to ensure that there is enough safe baby formula available for all who need it.
The White House also announcing that 2 major manufacturers have received Defense Production Act approval to purchase expedited ingredients and supplies to ramp up production. One of the manufacturers, Reckitt, which owns Mead Johnson, predicting to NBC News it will be producing 40% more formula in June. But supply chain experts say the Defense Production Act can only help so much.
How much of a difference can this make in getting formula on shelves soon?
It really won't make too much of a difference. The problem is that the formula manufacturers don't have that extra capacity. So if a factory goes down and then you go to another factory and say, hey, look, we want more formula, they're not going to be able to produce as much as you're going to need.
For now, Isabella is relying on her family and her mom group to get what her son needs.
We take pictures of the formula shelves whenever we're there so other moms can see, like, Walmart in, wherever has this in stock. If you need it, you just shoot on over. And it's unfortunate that it's kind of fallen on the shoulders of mothers who've already had to do so much.
The big question here is, when are parents going to see more formula on store shelves? Here's what we know so far. The second formula plane carrying hypoallergenic formula arrives on Wednesday in Virginia, and that is going to head to Pennsylvania. We also know that so far there's been no timeline change for the closed Abbott facility in Michigan. That plant is supposed to reopen within 7 days. If it does, that formula would hit store shelves, according to the company, by mid-July. But that is at the earliest. Tom?
Can't come soon enough. All right, Jolene Kent for us tonight. Joe, we thank you for that. Now to top stories, power and politics. With the midterms looming less than 6 months away, the baby formula shortage we just told you about, just one of the many crises facing the White House right now. And chances are looking increasingly bleak for Democrats as President Biden is expected to ramp up travel and fundraising. Here's Kristen Welker.
Tonight, with the midterm election season heating up, tensions are mounting inside the Democratic Party and White House, with a growing cascade of crises, including the president's handling of border policy, soaring inflation, and fears of a recession.
We have got to have the guts to go forward with an agenda that shows the American people what we're trying to do.
This is really about the collapse in support among young people, among the Democratic base, feeling like they are not, that they worked overtime to get this president elected, and they aren't necessarily being seen.
According to a recent NBC News poll, 75% of adults believe the country is headed in the wrong direction, and many place the blame squarely on the president and his party. Now, some Democrats are bracing for big midterm losses.
It is. It is. He's it's not working out. He's a bummer. He's a big time bummer, dude. It's not what anybody wanted. I think a lot of people would have voted Andrew Yang. And I'm not saying that even though there's a conspiracy inside the Democrats that I'm right wing in any way, but saying it sounds like there's, I don't know. They could have had a better candidate and went with the sleepiest, oldest dude in the room. And I can't help but feel there's a little bit of a, dare I say it, conspiracy behind it.
Like they suffered under former President Obama 2 years after he was elected.
I'm not recommending for every future president that they take a shellacking like I did last night.
We pressed former Biden White House official Cedric Richmond. Will Democrats get shellacked in the fall?
I don't think Democrats are getting shellacked in the fall. Let's just start there.
Two top Biden aides tell NBC News, moving forward, the president will double down on his attempts to draw a sharp contrast with Republicans, including on social flashpoints like abortion. And he will continue to try to paint some in the GOP as ultra MAGA, a term Democrats developed with focus groups over 6 months.
The great MAGA king, MAGA Republicans, the ultra MAGA Republicans.
But some Democrats worry that swipe is failing to resonate, with some Republicans embracing it.
I am ultra MAGA. I'm proud of it.
Ultra MAGA and proud of it, said that lady. Like, you're saying that post insurrection? I don't know if that's the smartest move, but I think she was expecting it. Set that lady. I think it upset anybody.
Does the president need to retool his message?
No, not at all. I think
the right doesn't know how to be spicy.
Contrast that we can make, and I think the president is doing a good job.
Socially.
They are ultra MAGA. They are extremists.
All right, Kristen Welker joins us now from the White House North Lawn. Kristen, I want to go back there to some of the things you pointed out in your story about the strategy for the Democrats heading into the midterms, and the president specifically calling former President Trump the MAGA king. It sort of had this ring of 2020 to it. And then, of course, I know you're familiar with this Axios poll that came out. They put together this bar graph that shows more people interacted on social media with articles about the Heard Depp trial than Joe Biden and abortion. And as you mentioned, the Democrats want to seize on sort of the flashpoint that's happening with abortion right now. How do Democrats feel about
Press F for to pay respects to Biden's PR campaign? Good Lord.
These strategies right now?
That's rough. That's rough statistics.
Well, Democrats
to get in,
believe that they have to start singing from the same songbook. They believe that some of these candidates don't have a unified message talking about what the administration sees as the bright spots of the economy, the low unemployment rate, for example, talking about cultural issues like abortion, as you just mentioned. The big question, how much will we see the president on the campaign trail? Well, Biden aides say they will be strategic about where the president campaigns heading up into the fall. But with his low approval rating, some Democrats, Tom, may say thanks, but no thanks. We'll have to see.
Kristen Welker for us tonight. Kristen, we thank you for that. We're also following new developments on that monkeypox outbreak. The Biden administration now laying out its response as the...
Yo, these graphics of monkeypox are horrible. Oh, that's the worst. Oh my gosh. Oof.
The virus spreads in ways we haven't seen before. But now some experts believe they have an idea on how this puzzling outbreak started. Here's Stephen Romo.
Tonight, a leading theory on what started this latest monkeypox outbreak and a steadily growing number of cases worldwide. The former head of the WHO's Emergencies Department, Dr. David Heyman, saying sexual contact at 2 raves, one in Spain and another in Belgium, likely amplified the...
This is sexual contact at a rave in Spain and Belgium. That's getting too close to our man Zimmy, dude. We gotta check on Zimmy. I can't.
Initial spread in communities of gay and bisexual men.
What do you think about that theory? Is that plausible?
When you look at the way that this is spreading through populations of men who have sex with men, you wonder, were there certain events that were pivotal in the virus getting access to that population?
It's worth noting that monkeypox normally doesn't spread through sexual contact.
When people have sexual contact with each other, It's an intimate, close environment where respiratory secretions, skin-to-skin contact occur.
No, but the European club scene can take something that doesn't spread through sex and turn it into something that spreads through sex.
And the virus can exploit those types of situations and transmit.
Now, at least 15 countries have confirmed monkeypox cases. With the CDC reporting today, the U.S. has 1 confirmed case in Massachusetts and 4 suspected cases in New York, Florida, and Utah. President Biden raising the alarm over the weekend.
It is something that everybody should be concerned about.
It always starts with monkeys, Erica.
I just don't think it rises to the level of the kind of concern that existed with COVID-19 and the smallpox vaccine works for it.
Leading the administration to provide context on the president's comments.
The president is really ensuring we stay vigilant.
Adding that the risk to the general public is low.
It's not a new disease. It's spreading in new ways, in new places, and quite suddenly. But we have vaccines and we have treatments.
In an attempt to curb the spread, the CDC is trying to educate the LGBTQIA community on monkeypox.
I don't think at the present time there is sufficient evidence of spread occurring so rapidly that we want to shut down any events or recommend that things be postponed.
The CDC also emphasizing most patients recover on their own in 2 to 4 weeks.
All right, Stephen Romo joins us now live here on set. So, Stephen, talk to me about the smallpox vaccine and monkeypox. Will it help people who have that vaccine?
Yeah, it's a question a lot of people have had. They belong to the same...
Why was there one man just hitting a Dutch angle? Hold on. Hold up. Why was there a dude just there just hitting that Dutch angle? Hard when they get back.
Pets from Africa, that outbreak was, and it seemed to work. It seemed to stop the spread of monkeypox back then. We do know this time around, the U.S. is getting ready to release some smallpox vaccine for people who've been exposed to patients who've been confirmed to have monkeypox right now. But the World Health Organization is not recommending widespread vaccinations for people who believe they could be exposed to it or people who just be in fear of it right now.
All right, Stephen Romo for us tonight. Stephen, thank you for that. We want to turn out to another contentious day in the courtroom, and John.
We've already covered Johnny Depp's trial today. I think I'll cut the hangout a little bit short today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want to try, I'm trying some new stuff with the graphics and things like that today with the show, and want to see if Lux wants to help me do something. I'm gonna go ahead and pop out of Discord. Thank you so much, Justin. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna do John Wayne True Crime in Chat, John Wayne Gacy tomorrow, guys. So I gotta go build a timeline. I'm late on my own deadline. Whatever the hell will I do? But it's kind of classic me. Always, last minute. But anyway, Justin, love you to death. Iro on Twitch, love you to death. Arianthe, it was great to hear from you. Erica, I'll talk to you later. Yo, Lux. You want to do the JoJo's? You want to do you want to do the to be continued meme to this episode?
Sure.
Okay, we gotta find a pose here. You'll be able to hear the musical cue. You know what I mean? You'll know what to do. You'll know when to freeze frame. You know what I'm saying? You'll know when to freeze frame. I don't know. Hold on. Here we go. Get the outro. Yeah. Classic, like the end of JoJo. We're gonna nail it. Ready?